All right, welcome back to the Sorghum Harvest Update Series, powered by the Kansas Sorghum Commission. I'm Maddie Meyer, Senior Director of Communications, and today I'm chatting with Jim Harden of Ashland, who serves as one of the Board of Directors for Kansas Sorghum Producers. Jim, how are things going for you today?
Well, pretty good. Although I plugged my combine, so I'm in the process of digging it out. So this is a welcome break from pulling and digging. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Do you want to go ahead and briefly introduce yourself, your farm, and how long you've been raising Milo?
Yes, Jim Harden. I'm Clark County. I live northeast of Ashland. I raise wheat, milo, corn, alfalfa, and I have a cow herd.
Absolutely. And, just as we're kind of talking and, getting through the harvest season and kind of going back to what challenges you've had throughout the growing season, thankfully, I hope drought was not one of them, but I don't know if you were ever affected by any pests or anything like that. Just kind of curious to hear your take on that.
I've got some ground southeast of Buckland that belongs to my sister that I was farming, and I had to spray it for headworms, but I haven't had any problem here where I live. And my Milo here, I did not have to spray it for anything other than just weeds.
Yeah, that sounds good. And so I'm kind of curious to hear your take on growing conditions this year. And just wanted to see how they impacted this year's sorghum crop. And if you want to give us an overview of what the summer looked like, that would be great.
We had a really good summer. I've heard people say this is the most rain they had ever seen in the summertime. Was very wet, and July was pretty wet. So we've had excellent growing conditions. Our Milo, all the Milo around looks really good. I know I've cut my corn, and my corn yielded better than I've ever had it. It was 25 to 30 bushels better than I've had in the past. I'm just getting started on the Milo, so I'm not sure how it's doing, but it looks very good.
So I know you're kind of on pause right now with Milo and haven't really gotten started, but just curious, everything's looking really well. I'm assuming that this will be kind of on the uptick compared to previous seasons, but do you have an estimate on what yields are looking like?
I would say probably 80s, 90s, which for our area is pretty good, but I really haven't heard too many estimates or yields yet. I think a lot of guys are just getting started.
And so what I've heard is that you've been noted for successfully selling your sorghum to local swine processors, which helps increase your basis and to diversify the market a little bit in your area. Can you describe what that relationship looks like and what makes sorghum a valuable feed for those local swine operations?
Well, we have a feed mill in Ashland, and there's a number. Smithfield has a number of pig farms all over south of Plains and that area, and so our local processor makes the pig feed for them, and they bag, and I can't tell you the amount. I've heard at one time like 2 million bushels. I don't know. I'm not sure on that, but they bag quite a bit, and then the feed mill will make the pig feed for them, and then they've got trucks that haul it out to the pig farms. Now, this year, of course, looks like we're going to have a lot of Milo and corn raised around, so there's going to be a lot of supply, but I found out, I talked to the feed mill in there, and they are actually, I guess they lost a couple of pig units that they had to shut down because they had disease in them, so they're down about a third from what they normally are. So they are shutting people off unless they've got their Milo contracted. And unfortunately, I did not contract my Milo, so I will have to take it to the local elevator. And there's probably, I'm going to say a 30 to 40% draw. I mean, the feed mill's paying like 30 to 40 cents over the local co-op. So it's a very good market. This year, they've had problems, and we've had a good year.
Going off of that with markets, and it's definitely definitely been an interesting year, that's for sure. And the commission is working on opening new international markets. We just had several trade teams come through the state across Western Kansas and looking, at different buyers such as India and Vietnam. And for you as a producer, how important is it for you to have diversified export destinations or even here at home as compared to relying on a single buyer like China?
I think we're seeing the results of relying just on China because, our markets are way down from what they normally are. The trade war with China, and they're not buying our sorghum, it's creating a backlog, which supply and demand, we got a lot of supply, so the demand is a lot less, and so the price is a lot less. So I think it's very important that we look for other markets, and certainly India. I would think if we could ever get in there, I don't know if their population has exceeded China's, but if it hasn't, they are projecting that it soon will. So that is a very big market. If we can get in there, I think that would help us tremendously.
That's all the time we have for today, but thank you for tuning in to the Sorghum Harvest Update series, and we'll see you next time.